The word formative to me has a very clear etymology. Our formative experiences are the experiences that shaped us as individuals. In the same way, I think formative assessment should be assessment that actually shapes learning. Not that was intended to, but that actually had the effect of shaping learning.
We were in our psychology class talking about intelligence because we just read an article. And Mr. Coons put all of our names on popsicle sticks and he put them in a cup. And what he would do was he would ask for volunteers, start it off, that person would pick out the popsicle stick and give some information about the article. And that next person would pick out another popsicle stick and read the name, and then the next person would stand up and so on and so forth.
That some animals are a lot smarter than others, like border collies and dolphins and primates.
You have to keep on your toes, definitely, because you don't want to repeat any information that anybody says, and then Mr. Coons will kind of like hound you for more information, which it's fun. I think it definitely shows what students know the material and what students don't, just basically because you can see how in depth they understand it, and if they give general knowledge, then Mr. Coons should kind of have a little red flag saying, oh, they probably don't know it as well as these students, and that way he can elaborate more on it.
Most feedback, even in the best schools, even when teachers write comments rather than give scores and grades, is actually the view through the rear view mirror rather than the view through the windscreen. It's what was wrong with the last assignment, but they're never going to do that assignment again. The best feedback takes out of the last assignment what the students need to feed into their next assignment. It's very hard to do, but it's the stuff that makes a difference.
More common sense. It really is taking the pulse of your class a lot more frequently than you would in a maybe more traditional standard teaching setting. And it's just little stuff from saying, hey, thumbs up if you're with me, you're still with me, that's good. Having them work with partners and then having the partners share out so the kid doesn't feel like it's like individually on me, whether I don't have it or maybe I do have it. The pressure is lessened. But then also by having them do stuff like this, you really are taking that pulse.
The PLC has been great. We've learned a lot. It's been nice to have a supportive community of people. Each meeting will be focused on a certain set of strategies. So when we're using the formative assessment, the kids love it. They're really engaged.
Applying formative assessment requires commitment. It really does give teachers the opportunity to pick those formative assessments that will work best in their classroom.
The decision that a teacher makes most often in the course of a working day is typically, can I move on now? And typically the way that most teachers make that decision is to make up a question on the spur of the moment. Some children raise their hands, you choose one of those. If that child gives you the correct answer, you say, good, and move on. And what we're saying is, let's think about the ways in which you can broaden the evidence base. How could you get teachers making better teaching decisions by broadening the evidence base? And that's what we call for in all student response systems. There's multiple choice, you can use A, B, C, D or voting systems. If it's a constructed response, you can use dry erase boards, you can use exit passes. The key idea that pulls all these things together is that these kinds of techniques embody both pedagogies of contingency and pedagogies of engagement. Changing what teachers think doesn't benefit students until it changes what teachers do. And as you change what teachers do in classroom, you'll have no impact on student outcomes. And most of the professional development we've had in this country over the last 30 years has been designed to change teachers' thinking. Basically, we've been trying to get teachers to think their way into a new way of acting. And what we're going to focus on today is getting teachers to act their way into a new way of thinking.